Good morning. It's very nice to see so many people here. We had to remove a wall just to fit everybody inside. So thank you very much for coming to our event. My name is Normans, and I will be telling you a little bit about our company. So, what do we do? Mikrotik creates networks and everything that is required for them. Our company was made in 1996, and we have been doing all kinds of networking things since then. Mikrotik is a Latvian company. We are from Europe, not very far, and our official name is Mikrotik. That means a small network in the Latvian language. So Latvia is there on the map. So if you're from Europe, I hope you know where we are located. And now we also have our new headquarters in Riga. I wanted to show you some pictures. We have moved into a new, a very interesting historic building where in Latvia always something related to communications has been made. So 120 years ago it looked like this, and now we restored it, and that's our new office. So if you're thank you. So if you're ever in Riga, you can see our new buildings. So we make software and also hardware. We have all kinds of products. We have home devices. We have Wi-Fi devices for outdoors. We have small office and home office devices with more ports. And we have carrier-grade equipment and faster routing devices. All of the process from the first until the last step we do ourselves. We create the ideas, we do the research and development, we write the software, and we do all of the programs and the drivers. And we also design and make the hardware. So all of this is entirely our own step, from the step one until the last one. Our devices are available all around the world. So we have more than 1,500 consultants. We have more than 600 distributors. We have more than 500 trainers. And we have also Mikrotik academies where you can learn about our hardware in schools and universities. Our user meetings, where you are now, have been very popular since our first one. We also have made these events all around the world in many, many different countries. We have had more than 200 events and in more than 80 countries. And our biggest event had more than 3,500 participants in one event. So that was in Indonesia. And in this event here in MAM Europe, we have 14 members from Mikrotik. Those are employees of Mikrotik, and you can talk to them about all kinds of topics. We have the technical guys, and we have sales people. And if you want, actually, if you're interested in becoming a distributor or doing some kind of partnership with our company, our sales guys have available business meeting slots. You can come to our registration table and ask them when can you meet somebody from the sales staff. So we have 2 full days of presentations. We're not making any kinds of whiteboards. We have internet here, and you can go to our webpage and see the upcoming presentations in our homepage. Those of you who have these orange tickets, you can get a lunch in the hotel restaurant for 2 days. Each day you can use 1 voucher. Others, if you do not have any vouchers, right across the street there is a very big shopping mall. It's like 5 minutes walking. It's full of all kinds of restaurants. Also here we have 48 exhibitors where you can see all kinds of fantastic devices that work together with Mikrotik or are made for our Mikrotik ecosystem. And you can even see such crazy things like a huge swing set and a coffee machine, and there's all kinds of nice things. So just whenever you're tired from sitting here, you can always go out, get coffee, and walk through the exhibits, and then come back. So we also have Wi-Fi here. The SSID is Mom Vienna Fast, and the password is Mikrotik, all lowercase letters. So now I'll just tell you a few updates about our previously announced products. So Lsg Lte is finally out. It's very nice, high gain dish with LTE modem. So you can take this nice unit, mount it in your country house, and connect to the LTE data network even when your phone says no signal. So this is a very nice device for remote locations. And what's great is that the mini PCIe card inside the modem, you can remove it and you can replace it with future upgraded modems, 5G and whatever is coming. So also LTAP, this device we announced previously, it's still coming very soon. We have one with us on the registration desk. We have outside we have a product table where after this presentation we will start to bring out our new devices, and you will be able to see what's new, and you can just touch all of those new nice devices. So LTAP is what it is. If you didn't know, so it's a nice outdoor rugged access point which has all kinds of interesting features, like it has many different powering methods, and it has a console, it has 3 SIM card slots, there is a built-in GPS with GLONASS and Beidou and Galileo, all of those satellite support. You can mount it in some kind of bus or any train, and then just track the movements of that vehicle in real time through the data connection, and of course use it as an access point for the passengers. And whenever you go out of coverage, for example, a script can switch the SIM card that is being used to some other provider, so you can use it for transport between countries, for example. Or maybe your SIM card has a data limit and then you just use 3 of them, for example. Also, we have upgraded our CCRs. All the 36 and 16 core CCRs finally have 2 power supplies each for redundancy. The power supplies are also much improved in heat efficiency and reliability, and they now just work much better. Also, optionally, you can change these power supplies to 48-volt power supplies that are available separately. You can change both or one or however you want. So all of these models now have been upgraded. Also now we have a full-size USB port. This device was also recently announced. So it has 24 SFP Plus ports for 10G. It has 2 QSFP Plus ports for 40G. And previously we announced it as with a different name. There was only 32 SFP Plus ports, but now we changed some ports for QSFP+, so you can now have 40G modules connected. So this device will be coming in later this year. Also, this one was previously already shown a little bit in our moms, so now I can tell you that it will be coming soon in Q2, and also has dual power supplies, 8 copper 10G ports, 4 Ethernet or SFP Plus combo ports, and there's console and management Ethernet. So also very nice switch. And of course this huge monster of a switch with 48 gigabit ports, 4 SFP plus ports, 2 QSFP plus ports, and a separate model with PoE out is still in progress. It's coming later this year. Okay, now I will tell you a little bit about other products that are coming this year. Of course, this is just a few of them. We do not list all of the products that we will have. Some of them are still secret, but some I can show you now. So these are interesting things that I can show you at the moment. So all of these devices that you will see are also with us. You can come to our product table later during the day and see them. So first, let's talk about thing that we call the GPen. That's an acronym. Let me explain. So normally you know what is GPON. So GPON is basically, if you know what it is, it's something like that. You have your OLT unit, then you have all kinds of fiber cables, you have splitters, then there's distance limits, of course, it's fiber, then you have your GPON units, power, and your homes, but it's all very expensive and complicated. So we made something a little bit different. We call it the Gigabit Passive Ethernet Network. So it works very similar, but at a much, much lower cost. And there are some components involved. First is the GPER, Gigabit Passive Ethernet Repeater. So you can already guess that there will be no fiber involved here. So this small unit is completely passive. There's no external power required, but it allows you to extend your Ethernet cables. So for example, previously with PoE, what can you get? Like 100 meters, maybe a little bit more. But now you can just use these extenders in your Ethernet and reach up to 1.5 kilometers with PoE with Ethernet. So at one end you can plug in 57 volts, and at the other end, after 1.5 kilometers, you'll get 24 volts, which is enough for any router board unit. Another component is the Gigabit Ethernet surge protector. So you can use these devices outdoors or indoors or wherever you want. Just plug it into your outdoor units, any type of Ethernet unit, and it will be protected from power surges, power spikes, and you can use it on the tower, in your server room, wherever you need it. One more component is the GPen. So there's two models, the GPen 11 and the 21. The GPen 11 is basically a PoE injector which you can attach securely to a wall or in some kind of communications box, maybe in apartments where the cable comes in. You mount it inside the person's apartment, somewhere behind that door where usually those cables all come in. And the GPen 21 is similar. It looks exactly the same, but inside there's also a SFP port for fiber to copper functionality if you need something like that. Then we have some interesting switches. So these switches work, they have outdoor enclosures. There'll be some more pictures in a few slides. So this one specifically is the C318 16FI. What the FI means, it means that it has 100 megabit ports which all support PoE input. So it's called reverse PoE on 15 of these 16 ports. It will be very affordable, and there'll be also a PoE out on a single port. Another model will be exactly the same, but no PoE in, but all of them are Gigabit PoE out ports, outdoors. So a nice outdoor waterproof unit. You can put it on your towers and feed 16 devices with PoE power. And there's 2 SFP plus ports also. And the third one is a CSS. That is a switch OS only, so no router OS here. And it has 8 Ethernet ports with PoE out, 2 SFP Plus ports, very low cost, and has UPS battery support. Let me show you a little bit more. Here are these 3 devices. So let me go closer. On the first one, you can see all of these 15 ports with the blue color support power input. There's also a PoE out and SFP. Next, we have the PoE out versions. So nice outdoor switch, PoE out ports. And the third one is the CSS switch. So this one has all kinds of battery features. You can see that you can monitor if your battery is charging, if it's full, if it's empty. There's the battery connector, temperature sensor connector, alarm, DC inputs, PoE out ports, SFP plus ports. So all of these things you can use to build a GPEN network. So now you have your apartment, you have your PoE injector mounted on the wall, you have your 1.5 kilometers of Ethernet cables with the GPER repeaters, or of course you can do as long cables as you want. It's up to you how many GPERs you need to get to the central switch, which can be on top of your apartment building, for example. And on top of your apartment building, all of these apartments are feeding the switch with power at the same time because of this 15 power inputs. So all of the apartments are giving power to the switch. Most likely, at least one of them will have power, so your switch will always be powered. There is no requirement for any kind of power adapters on your roof. And then your switch can go with 60 gigahertz or with any kind of SFP or any kind of other connection to your central offices. So that is the GPEN setup. Full family of products, Gigabit passive Ethernet network, much more affordable and easier to install as any kind of GPON. Okay, next I have something else. That is MQS, Mobile Quick Setup Unit. It's a very, very small access point that you can carry in your pocket. Previously we had MapLite. This is almost the same size, but the purpose is a little bit different. It's very interesting. So you can power it from a power bank, 5 volts, just any kind of mobile phone charger power bank. And you can attach the power bank to this unit with a rubber band, for example, and have your completely wireless tiny access point. And what's great is that it has PoE output. So what you can do is you have a guy who is climbing on the tower, and then he sees this S60 is not connecting. I don't understand why. Now what he can do is he can take the MQS, plug it directly into the S60 with an Ethernet, and then he can use a mobile phone if he wants to connect to the MQS, and then he has Ethernet access to any kind of router. Because the router is now powered from the MQS, from the USB power bank. And it's just a small administrator's friend that you can use to manage any kind of devices. So also supports CPE mode and some others, but of course it's not a full-size router. It's it's a low power management accessory. Okay. Next we have something completely different for us. Actually, I saw a stand outside that is offering products that go together with the next product. So this is LoRa. Now LoRaWAN is a network, is a system that allows to connect sensors and measurement devices and all kinds of interesting accessories. There's thousands of available sensors already on the market, and we will offer a LoRa gateway. And currently LoRa gateways are very expensive, and even if you want to build your own LoRa gateway with Raspberry Pi, even the absolute cheapest homemade unit is still quite expensive. And we will undercut that price by a very, very big difference. So our LoRa gateway will be much, much more affordable than any existing LoRa gateway. And the LoRa gateway is, you don't have to even buy a separate unit. It's a basic WAP access point, 2 GHz Wi-Fi that you can already use in your home, and it has the LoRa interface added inside. And what you can make is, for example, you have a farm, and you have your access point in the yard for your smartphone. Now it has LoRa gateway. What LoRa does, you can now put all kinds of temperature sensors, humidity sensors, soil sensors, things that monitor your fields where your crops grow, or things that monitor the wind speed. Or there's many different kinds of Internet of Things sensors that are fully compatible with the LoRa standards, and there's many, many, many more. I can't even. There are parking sensors, there are street light sensors, and many things. All of them with this gateway can reach up to around 1.5 kilometers of distance. These small sensors are battery powered, so you can just spread them around, and all you need is this access point. All of them will connect to it. And in software, there is not much to do. You just configure which of the services you want to use. The Things network and Loriot, and there's all kinds of standard aggregation web portals where all your sensor data can be sent. So in Router OS, you would just configure your account, and it will be all the measurements from these sensors will be sent to your standard Internet of Things portal. And so there's not much to set up. You just provide your account and enable it, and that's all. Also, the integrated antenna, as it says here, is 2.5 dBi. That's already can cover a lot, but there are external antennas also you can attach to provide a bigger coverage. And with these gateways, you can cover cities. So, for example, some municipalities are monitoring how many cars are parked during the night on their streets, and they put these small sensors in the street lights. And so the cars are parked, and then their web portal shows occupation 85%, for example. And at the same time, you can provide Wi-Fi access. So everything is combined into one small unit that is much cheaper than the lowest price LoRa gateway on the market. Okay. Now, something more basic. We already have a mini UPS unit. This is the mini UPS Pro. It looks the same. It has the same features, but now it has a smart side. You can monitor the status from a web interface. And it has 48 volt support. So, Maps Pro. Now, this is also something very interesting. It's the Lsg Lte HP. It's a simultaneous dual band outdoor dish with a router. Everything is built in. It has Gigabit and also SFP, so 2 ports, and 2 GHz, 5 GHz, both at the same time. So, dual band, high gain, outdoor antenna. Okay, this is also very interesting. It's a power adapter for your HAP lights, HAP minis, maps, and not only does it give power over the micro USB, but it also adds power line support. So if you buy a new HAP mini or HAP light today, they already have support for this power line adapter. You just take your old micro USB power adapter, replace it with this one. There is no extra parts in your setup, but now Powerline allows you to connect to other routers in your network through the electrical grid. So if you have Hap Mini in one room, but you have thick walls and it's hard to get Wi-Fi signal in your bedroom, just take another Hap Mini, use this kind of power adapter, and they will link together through your electrical grid, through the power sockets. And you can have, now you can have Wi-Fi in your bedroom as well. And it just appears as a second interface, as another interface in your routers. So if you have one of the newest Hap Lights, Hap Minis or Maps, you can already upgrade to the latest router OS version to 6.44, and you can already see the interface, the Powerline interface in the software. All you need now is the Powerline adapter to make it work. And so also an interesting device we have, and it's called the Audience. And the Audience is an access point that has mesh support. It's a very, very beautiful home access point with a nice design. And it's a tri-band AC home access point, which has a secondary 5 GHz interface that pairs with other audience units. They will all link together in any kind of building and form a network. Basically, they work like a repeater, but instead of taking your existing Wi-Fi interface, you have a separate 5 GHz interface just for the mesh function. They have 2 Ethernet ports, and we will have an Audience LTE unit that will have a Cat6 modem built inside. So you can, if your location doesn't have a good internet connection, you can use a Cat6 modem to get up to 300 megabits from your mobile operator. And then you can use multiple audience units in your house, and they will all connect together and provide coverage in all of your premises. So, nice device. We also have one with us. You can come to our table and see how it looks. And also we have finally released a mobile application for both smartphone platforms. We have the Mikrotik Smartphone App is now for iPhones and for Androids, and they give you the opportunity to easily configure your home devices and also have all the advanced menus that your Winbox has, and you can now quickly connect to any router and make some settings. Also, we are working hard to make it much easier for beginners to configure their first home routers. So, for example, you buy a Hap AC and then you plug it into your power. And how do I set the password? And you just use our Mikrotik application from the App Store. You connect to your new SSID network, and there will be a step-by-step guide how my mother can set the password even. So you select the password for the wireless, and you select the administrator's password. And if your ISP gave you some specific settings, you can enter them here, and then thank you, it's all done. And that should help the home users. And now this is only the first step. We are just starting. So these are now available from today. They are in the app stores. The iPhone application is only released today now. But we plan to expand them with more features, add some interesting things that are missing from Winbox, for example. Smartphone applications allow you to alert of security issues and any kind of important stuff, and we can add things like scheduled automatic upgrades to your routers and things like that. So more interesting features are coming, and I hope you can install it, test it, report all the bugs that you find, because it's just the first release, and of course there'll be some issues. So just let us know, send us emails. As you know, our email is always support@mikrotik.com. Always send us these findings, and we will try to fix them as soon as possible. So thank you very much for coming. I hope you enjoyed this event, and now let's start with our technical presentations. Of course, we have coffee, we have exhibits, and thank you very much for listening to my presentation.